And we take a look at the 2023 NBA offseason, which was just literally a few months ago. The Miami Heat found themselves right in the middle of the Damian Lillard saga. As we all know, Damian Lillard is a superstar in this league, and one of his biggest mottos was loyalty. He wanted to win a championship with the Portland Trail Blazers, but this year he finally came forward, said he wanted it out. He demanded a trade, and his preferred destination was the Miami Heat. Now, I never heard Damian Lillard verbally say this, but the reports were saying that he wanted to play in Miami so badly that if he got traded to another team, he wouldn't even suit up and play. And obviously, we see that Damian Lillard is now a member of the Milwaukee Bucks, and he is playing for that team. But nonetheless, the Miami Heat, coming off an NBA Finals loss after reaching the Finals 2 times in 3 years, 2020 and 2023, and then Damian Lillard naming them as their as his preferred destination via trade. It was a lot of eyes on the Miami Heat this offseason, and obviously they couldn't get a deal done. And also in this offseason, the Miami Heat lost 2 of their most important role players that was very vital to them in the playoffs over these last couple of years. Max Strus, who's now a member of the Cleveland Cavaliers, and Gabe Vincent, who is now a member of the Los Angeles Lakers. And with the Miami Heat losing those 2 players in free agency and not being able to acquire Damian Lillard via trade, it allowed them to be ridiculed by a lot of people. Now, the people I seen, I didn't really see too much of it in the national media, but just people on the internet, people who love to believe that they do know a lot about basketball. They were making fun of Pat Riley, saying that he thought he was going to get Damian Lillard for a bag of chips. They said that the Miami Heat were going to struggle this season, and so far that has not been the case. Right now, the Miami Heat are playing some of the best basketball in all of the NBA after getting off to a shaky start. The Miami Heat have a record of 10-5, and they are essentially tied for the second best record in the Eastern Conference. And also, they're on fire right now as they've won 9 out of their last 10 ball games. And what's been so impressive to me about the Miami Heat is that they're still being able to live by their motto. They're still being able to win by that Heat culture that we've seen over the last 2 or 3 years. And that is just the Miami Heat being able to win and dominate you with the depth and the role players on their basketball team. We look at their most recent game, for example, against the Cleveland Cavaliers, a team that just came off beating Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey and a very talented Philadelphia team. The Miami Heat was able to beat that team by 30 points with Jimmy Butler just scoring 10 points in that game, and also Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero did not play in that game at all. They go on the road and beat the Cleveland Cavaliers, who is missing Caris LeVert and Donovan Mitchell, albeit, but like I said, that same team just beat Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey on their home court. And the Miami Heat missing those guys, and with the best player on the team just scoring a mere 10 points, and they were able to blow out the Cleveland Cavaliers on their home court. And earlier in the video, we talked about the Miami Heat losing Gabe Vincent and losing Max Strus this offseason. 2 important guys in the Miami Heat rotation. This means that other guys on the team are going to have to step up, and that's exactly what we've seen so far from this Miami Heat roster. They're still getting quality play from their role players, and one guy that I think has been very important and very impressive for the Miami Heat so far this season is Haywood Highsmith, who missed the first few games of the season, but since he's been the starter, the Miami Heat, they have a record of 9-1. And we look at his individual numbers, they're not gonna pop out at us at all, but that is not his role for this team. He's actually the glue guy. He's the guy that's gonna go out there and do all the little things. He's gonna guard the opposing team's best player. He's a really good defender. He's around 6'4", 220 pounds. He's supremely athletic, very strong, so he can guard smaller, quicker guys, and he can also guard some of the bigger forwards in today's NBA. And he's also capable of knocking down wide open 3-point shots. So he actually fits perfectly for the stars that the Miami Heat have on this team, guys that draw a lot of attention, like Tyler Hero, like Bam Adebayo, and like Jimmy Butler. So he's out there making their jobs easier on both the offensive and the defensive side of the ball. Now, if you're into numbers, saw this stat that said Haywood Highsmith, when he's out there on the court for the Miami Heat, opponents score less points every 100 possessions, and the Miami Heat score more points every 100 possessions when Haywood Highsmith is out there on the court. And another player that has been big time for the Miami Heat so far this season is Jaime Jaquez Jr., the rookie out of UCLA, and he has been having a very, very impressive rookie campaign. So far this season, he's averaging 10.5 points per game to go along with 2 assists and 3 rebounds, and also he's been insanely efficient for a rookie, 52% from the field, 41% from the three-point line, and he's also knocking down 80% of his free throws. Now, Jaquez Jr., he has fit perfectly with the Miami Heat, and you gotta love his game, as he can do a little bit of everything on the offensive side of the ball. Now, at the collegiate level, where he did a lot of his damage was in that mid-post area, he is a great post player, and he also has face-up game as well, as he can knock down a mid-range jumper, and he can also knock down that three-point shot. Now, watching Jaquez Jr. so far in the NBA, you can tell how much the Miami Heat loves and respect his basketball skill and his basketball game, as they're not just making him spot up in the corner, but they're actually running plays for him. When Bam Adebayo is on the court, when Jimmy Butler is on the court, they're running plays allowing Jaquez Jr. to post up and go to work. And if you watched that game last night against the Cleveland Cavaliers, he's making post moves on Jared Allen, one of the best low post defenders the NBA has to offer. So his individual game is so good, and also he fits like a glove with this team when it comes to playing team basketball. He is a great cutter, and like we just established, he can knock down those catch and shoot threes. And something that I love watching is those minutes that him and Kyle Lowry play together. It's like those guys, even though Kyle Lowry has been in the NBA forever and Jaquez Jr. is just a rookie in today's game, it's like those guys' souls have been intertwined for a long time. They read each other's mind, and Jaquez just does all the little things. He plays really some old school basketball, running the floor, sealing the smallest guy when he is running the floor, and he gets a lot of easy looks and a lot of easy baskets in that manner. So I think drafting him, the Miami Heat did a great job. With that in each and every game. It looks like he's getting better and he's getting more comfortable. So those two guys right there, that was what I really wanted to go in depth in and talk about today with the Miami Heat. And then you still getting valuable play from other role players. We just saw Kyle Lowry have a really big game when the Miami Heat needed them to. Missing Bam Adebayo, missing Tyler Hero. He stepped up and he dropped 28 points, couldn't miss from the three-point line. Duncan Robinson has been unreal so far this season for the Miami Heat. After being off for about 1.5 years, seems like he has his shooting touch and his confidence back as a basketball player, and you love to see that. And it also seems like Duncan Robinson has expanded on his game. He looks a lot better as a playmaker as far as setting up looks for his teammates, and he's also putting the basketball on the floor, creating shots for himself a lot more than we've seen in the last couple years. And we actually seen a little bit of that in the NBA Finals against the Denver Nuggets. But nonetheless, I think the Miami Heat, they have a really solid team. And we look at the Miami Heat's roster, they have a superstar in Jimmy Butler, who we all know takes this game to a completely different level by the time the playoffs come around. Counting him, I believe they have 2 other all-star caliber players. So 3 all-star caliber players on this team: Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero, and Bam Adebayo. And then they have all these high-quality role players that we just talked about. Kevin Love is still a part of this team, who has been playing great at the backup center position. Kyle Lowry, we talked about Haywood Highsmith. They also have Josh Richardson. Drew Smith, I like a lot. Seems like he has some potential in this league. And Jaime Jaquez Jr. So when you have 3 all-star caliber players and you have high-quality role players around your 3 all-star caliber players, there's not much more you can ask for. And I think we just get caught up in the Miami Heat losing in the NBA Finals. They lost to a really good team in the Denver Nuggets that dominated everyone throughout the playoffs. But nonetheless, man, that's going to be it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed enjoyed, please leave a like, comment down below if you agree or disagree and how you feel about this Miami Heat roster, and then subscribe for more weekly content. We do this all the time, man, and that's curtains.